Alright, as we wait for everybody to load up here, let's see what we have going on. Boom. Yes! I love it when a plan comes together. Worked exactly the way I wanted it to.
That was your intro?
Yeah, damn it. Forgot about that. I was doing something
There's still time.
completely different. Fuck. Like, actually, I was gonna wait and for this right here.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
fix it in post.
Okay, yeah, right. Hello and welcome to Dota Battles. I am Warbond.
Dota Battles, Season 1, Week 6. Jesus.
Alright. Maybe I really will fix this shit in post.
Just do a crappy voiceover. You're doing both of our voices.
Oh my god. Why do I have this?
You were Warbond. Holy shit, man. Get your shit together.
Welcome to Dota Battles, Season 1, Week
Uh-huh.
6.
Uh-huh.
Soggy Bottom Boys versus Prime. I'm Warbond.
I'm Despair. Apparently trying to keep this organization together.
Whatever, man. You give half the number of fucks that I give about this.
Ooh, that's...
That's an overestimation of how much I
that's-
give a shit.
That's optimistic. I guess before we start, we should say we should say Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone.
Nope.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, I was going to say it's a very happy coincidence for me because I'm drinking heavily, which is, I mean, really just what I do on Mondays anyway for this. I mean, it's the only way I can possibly get through it and dealing with you. Anyway, I mean, it just coincides really nicely.
Holy shit, I need to turn off my goddamn announcer. How do I turn off my announcer? Because I have the Death
I
Prophet.
don't know. Oh, we'll just switch it. It's up at the top left. You can change it. Why would you have the Death Prophet? It's like one of the most annoying announcers ever.
I can't do shit with it. I'm clicking on it and nothing's happening.
Okay,
Anyway,
well, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we're gonna
Fix
have
it
to deal
in
with this. Oh god, yeah, that shit is annoying. The reason I have it is because I just got it and I was just opening shit and putting it. Anyway.
No, I understand.
Alright, so Prime has banned out Viper and Weaver. Weaver's a very good rat Dota fucking hero there.
Well, he's more a good off lane, and he's a good late game carry. I mean, I guess he can.
Well, I was
kinda.
going to say that if you had given me a chance.
Oh, okay. Do you even know what Rat Dota is?
Yeah, that's where you just push lanes and
Mhm.
win that way instead of team
job.
fighting.
Yeah.
So
He's also really. I mean, he is good at team fighting. He's really hard to pin down.
anyway, Viper
And
is
Viper, yeah. Viper is just a piece of shit, and I
Viper
think
is
he should
easy,
be
easy
banned
to
every
play.
time.
Easy to
Yeah.
play. And then Mirana and Dark Seer on the Soggy Bottom Boys side. Oh god, this fucking announcer voice. What do I do?
Just worry about it in a second. Yeah, Mirana and Darkseer, go on.
Oh Jesus! No, I've really fucked up. I'm trying to do so many things.
I think they were just looking
Good.
for a solid off lane ban, I guess. I mean, same thing with the Weaver. Marauder is really popular right now. Really good. I mean, especially if you can get an initiator, someone to lock a target down and then throw an arrow onto him. And speaking of initiators, on Prime, Clockwork is... I love Clockwork so much. I love Clockwork so much. And I'm very glad to see it picked up. I want to see some crazy hook shots. Influenza playing the Clockwork. I mean, Influenza, I want to say, has been more of a support role. And so this should be fun, right?
Yeah, very interesting lineup overall. And we'll get to that here in just a second. I gotta switch out this fucking. Oh,
Dude,
thank
I'm
God.
telling you.
No, it's there. I did it. I'll
Jesus.
change my HUD too. I was really concerned. I was really concerned. Like, is this forever? That's
And
where I
by the
was
way,
at
before
with
you
that.
start, Stings When I Prime has picked up. I'm sorry, Stings When I Prime has picked up a Smoke of Deceit first thing. So I'm gonna see if they're maybe he's just picking it up because he's there and he doesn't want to have to take up courier time or go back for it. But maybe they're looking for some really early game aggression. Uri game crasher.
Uri, yeah. I find it interesting that Stings Winter Prime was not Weaver this game. The last series that we did with him, he was Weaver.
Well,
both
the
games in a
Weaver,
row.
the Weaver was banned out,
I realized that. I was just
and they
making a joke
banned the Weaver. Oh, make it a joke. Yeah, okay.
about how he was Weaver both games last time.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
I struggled the first game. Did a lot better the second game.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, why would we talk about lineups? That's not what we're here for.
Nope.
Okay, why don't you take us through?
All right, I'll start off with Prime on the dire side this time. We got Influence on Clockwork, Stings when I Prime on Ancient Apparition, Cap and Egger on Sven.
Edgar.
Okay, I said Egger.
The battle begins.
Cap and Egger?
Edgar.
Edgar.
Captain Edgar.
Yeah.
I'd say Edgar. It's like wearing an Edgar suit.
Where
Yeah.
I need sugar water. Sidakaichu on Shadow Demon, and the stand-in Elite Speak on the Razor.
And for Soggy Bottom Boys, we've got GG No Re on the Undying in the top lane. We've got Disband with Me on the Mag in the middle lane. And on the bottom lane, we've got Shokushu on the Luna. Ruby Rod on the line, which we've seen some Ruby Rod on line action before. And Kyron?
Not again,
Kyron.
man.
Kyron on the Vengeful Spirit.
Don't do it anymore.
I liked it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was... no?
No. All right. Prime and Soggy Bottom Boys both are going with a standard tri-lane on both sides. And there's nothing abnormal about that. The idea, obviously, is to protect your carry and make sure they get as much farm as possible. And get big as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not sure who I give the advantage to as far as which offlaner is going to die on which team. Like, I've got a feeling that Influence on the Clockwork with the Cogs, which I don't blame him for doing Power Cogs first. I feel like he's got a better chance of escaping, but GG No Re on the Undying is already... He's got his Tombstone up. He could pop that to get away. But the Ancient Apparition, Stings When I Prime, has got Chilling Touch up already, which does a lot of bonus damage, and especially early on, you can really feel that. So, initiation with the Disruption by Say, into the Stormhammer with the
bottom
Chilling
lane.
Touch.
Influenza
and here we
running
go.
for his
Come on.
fucking life, and there's the first blood. And that is the problem with Clockwork.
His Power Cogs were on cooldown.
Well, he just used them.
Tried to use them, yeah, to get away.
He had just used them to get away from Chiron on the Vengeful Spirit.
Here?
And stop it. But Ruby Rod and Shakushu were ready for it. They had that ward up there, and they just went on him.
Yeah.
And as I was saying, the problem with Clockwork this early in the game, until you get to level 6, you don't have as much escape as you really need. And so...
Yeah, well, I mean, you
it's
definitely can use the hook shot defensively to try to get the fuck out of there.
Well, and
but
it's
the
a perfect
brilliant-
opportunity.
Yeah, but I hadn't gotten to Soggy Bottom Boys lineup yet. I mean, Ruby Rod with the Earth Spike into the Hex, with the Vengeful Spirit's Magic Missile, with the Luna's Lucent Beam. I mean, there's a lot of lockdown, a lot of kill potential there, as we just saw, or well, as I kind of saw the end of.
Well, it worked for him. This early in the game, it's hard to tell exactly what they're going to be doing. Just some, again, standard tri-lane bullshit going on.
No, I don't think so. I think you're going to see Ruby Rod and Chiron get a few more levels, maybe 1 or 2 more levels, and they're going to start moving around. I'd be very surprised if they didn't.
Why is that specifically? Is it just because...
Well, because up against the Clockwork...
The Lion...
Yeah, well, up against the Clockwork, Shakushu doesn't have... I mean, he kind of has to worry a little bit, because, I mean, you can never underestimate the amount of damage that the Battery Salt and the Rocket Flare into the Power Cogs does, but he should more or less be safe until Influenza gets level 6, and the two of them, Ruby Rod on the line, and then the Vengeful Spirit roaming around, I mean, that's 2 or 3 big stuns that they can put down on people to lock down. And, I mean, it would be super worth it to rotate up the mid, like, right now. And, ooh, middle lane, Disband with Me, misses a skewer. And we've got the static link from the Razor coming out onto the mag. And
Not quite enough to get him, but damn
Yeah,
close.
see, right now would be a perfect time to make a rotation and get that kill. And we've got Mag. Yeah, Mag's pinging out that regen rune. He's hoping someone comes. Oh, will they be in time? Current magic missile! Do it! Yes! Looks like Disband and me still gonna go down, but Chiron will be able to pick up the kill. There's the Earth Spike,
Ruby
and
comes
that's a
in
kill.
to finish it off.
Yeah. And see, that's what I was talking about.
And
Had they been
Influenza
just a
tried to
split
help out
second-
a little bit, but
Yeah, had they been a split second earlier.
it was a good
But I mean,
takedown.
that was.
But they lost
was-
both of their mids there.
Yeah, it was quite ballsy of Disband with me to go back in.
Really wanted it,
He did really want it, and I mean,
especially
sure,
knowing
the shockwave did help out.
especially knowing that the regen room was there.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what he was pinging out. I was like, listen, I have to go back to base. I'm not gonna make it. Do not let this dirty fucker get that regen rune.
And it happened anyway.
And it happened anyway, but he paid for it. So regen rune pops. That's all good. Let's look at the last hits tonight. Sven up on the top lane and the Luna down in the bottom lane. I mean, close. Sven's edging her out a little bit, 27-6 versus 22-7. And then really on the middle lane, it's kind of the same deal. I mean, Disband with me on the mag is kind of pushing out Leet Speak on the Razor by just a little bit, but it's still relatively even. And on the top lane, we've got a smoke up by Stings When I Prime and Say. I'm imagining that they're going to be rotating. Ooh, they could catch him out at the rune right here. Disruption!
Radiant's
There's the
middle
cold feet
tower
into the
is under
disruption.
attack.
Let's see if the Razor will get up in time. They're body blocking him out. Ooh, spins an RP just to get away. You know what? If you're worried about it, I don't disagree with that move.
Yeah, that was kind of a botched gank attempt. I think they were just they're waiting for him to be in position just a little too long. And
Well,
it
yeah.
ended up not working for them.
I mean, they really needed Leet Speak up there, and I think it was just they didn't realize at the last second that, hey, he's moving up. We're not going to catch him at the middle towers at River.
Well, and he got away. Is the bottom line there?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
From what I can tell, Soggy Bottom Boys, so far at least, are playing just a little bit more conservatively. They're waiting for those perfect opportunities and capitalizing on them just a little bit better. But it's still so early in the game. We're 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
Looking at the last hits and denies as far as the amount of farm that the heroes are getting.
It's still pretty even across the board. I mean, the top four, it's Luna, Sven, Razor, and Mag. 2,600 to 2,100.
Not a whole lot of difference right now.
Yeah.
And so both teams are in a decent position. Nobody's fucked yet as far as the early game goes. Oh, middle lane, Chiron coming in.
Speaking of, there's the magic missile on Elite Speak, but I do not think they'll have enough to follow it up with. He just wanted to scare him off a little bit, but he might not
He's
even
still
do that.
there.
Yeah, he's gonna pop a bottle charge, and let's see, is he gonna crow? Probably not. Here in the top lane, and GG Nari, by the way, has been doing a great job. I mean, he hasn't given up the same kill that Influenza on the Clockwork has on his off lane. Undying is just really good at that. I mean, he is very tanky. He has the ability with Decay. He actually didn't pick anything up into or put any points into Soul Rip, which I don't know. I'm not too super familiar with Undying. That may be a thing, but with the Tombstone and the Decay, just to try to make the enemy team a little bit more squishy, a little bit more hesitant to go in on you. Speaking of going in, top lane, Disman with me on the mag hits a skewer on the Stings When I Prime, but Say gets a nice disruption. GG Nori goes ahead and pops the Flesh
They're
Golem.
not focusing on anybody.
Radiant's
GG
middle
Nari's
tower
running for his life right now.
Captain
Disbanded me.
Edgar, you have the Stormhammer in 5 seconds. Let's see, looks like Disband with me is going to try to come back in on Stings When I Prime. Yeah, the Tombstone. See, that's what I was talking about. GG Nori got out of that because of the Tombstone.
Stings When I P goes
Disband.
down.
Yeah, he gets Stings When I Prime. P. Whatever. Jesus.
Dire's
At this
top
point,
tower
I
is
don't
under
even
attack.
separate reality from the joke. It's just Stings When I Prime.
It's all the same.
Yeah, and disband with me, very, very fortunate double damage rune there in the bottle.
Radiant's middle
And,
tower is under attack.
I mean, Soggy Bottom Boyd's got the best of that exchange there.
The fuck kind of courier is that? A flying tree stump?
It is a flying tree stump.
The chest on its head?
Yeah, and lead speak is bottle throwing now. And over here in the bottom lane, Influence on the Clockwork is got level 7. I'm going to assume that he's going to try to get his phase boots before he starts rotating. Because he's been having a rough time as far as last hits, which, given the lane composition, I do not blame him for that.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
welcome
he's
to Melee
14-0.
Heroes.
He's super sad, but he may be going on here, getting gone on again. Earth Spike, very,
yeah, it's a zoning Earth Spike.
very, very optimistic Earth Spike from Ruby Rod. But really, I think at this point, Influenza needs. He's going straight. He's not even going to worry about the face boots. He's going to go straight into Blade Mail. But honestly, I think if he doesn't start ganking, if he doesn't start moving around right now, he's going to get Blade Mail up too late for it to even have an
Disband
impact.
with me going on Stings on IP on the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah,
And he goes down. Sidakaichu's coming up on Disband with me.
Yeah, Disband doing some work here. And if Undying comes in, they may even be able to get saved, but he is going to leave well enough alone. He got the kill. Good enough.
Good call, too, especially with
Yeah,
lead
with lead
speak
speak
right
coming
around
up.
the corner.
And then a fuck you shockwave. I mean, no, plasma
If
field,
he had a little bit of help.
zoning plasma
Dire's
field.
bottom tower is under attack.
That's what it is.
What is going
And
on here?
I had just talked about Influenza on the Clockwork moving around, and here he is up at the top lane. I
Rotating,
think he's
yeah.
going to try to set something up. Let's see if he can do it. He actually, oh my god, he doesn't have anything up into battery assault, and I think that is a big mistake.
Yeah,
Dire's
you want to.
think he's
You
gonna
want
have-
to.
Yeah, he's going to have a little bit
Tower has
of a
fallen.
hard time trying to make those ganks without battery assault.
What you want to
Because
do,
that does
ideally,
a lot of damage early
is-
on when no one
is-
has a fucking armor in life.
is hookshot, cogs, battery assaults.
Yeah, and then
a
rocket
lot
flare
of
to
dead
taste.
heroes.
Dire's bottom tower
And meanwhile, while they're trying to set up this gank in the top lane, they lose their tier 1 in the bottom lane.
Yeah. Did you see who got the list on that? And it was Shakushu. Or Shakushu. And he's got up his Helm of the Dominator. And he's moved in, I say moved in the jungle. He's moved in the jungle because he now has the option to with that lifesteal. And I would like to see him, and I'm assuming that he will, dominate a creep and move it over to start stacking his ancients. Hell, he may even start stacking the enemy team's ancients.
Well, as absent as they are from the bottom lane,
Mid lane, Influenza hits a. Oh, there's the hook shot. Oh, disband with me,
shit.
though. Skewer out. I think he will be able to get away from this.
that is one good thing
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
the
that was-
Magnus, is you have
Mhm.
good escape from cogs, which not a lot of heroes do.
Yeah. I mean, normally with Clockwork on your team, you have to wait until you've got 4 staffs up, which I expect to see at least 1 or 2 4 staffs from Soggy Bottom Boys, just specifically to deal with those cogs. But yeah, disband, didn't even have to worry about it. Skewer out, very nice reaction time by him. And
Here they go in the middle lane.
Oh, there's the RP on lead speak, and that is a dead fucking
Very
razor.
easy kill there by Disband with me and Shakushu, with
Yeah.
Ruby Rod waiting in the wings.
And they'll probably try to pressure this tier 1 mid.
I would be...
And and here's a pause. Going back to that Clockwork gank attempt on disband, I really think that if Battery Salt had been, if he had a level and he had hooked, cogged Battery Assault, I think he could have gotten that kill, because Battery Assault does have a mini stun with each tick of it. And I see, the thing is, I don't know if the cast point versus the cast time is longer or shorter than the intervals between, which is 0.7 seconds between the Battery Assault shots. Anyway, it would have made it a little bit easier, though.
But that was a very quick reaction by Disband with
It
me.
was a very quick reaction, yes.
And as you can see, he's gone into Skewer and Shockwave very, very early, very hard, very early. And it's only going to get worse from here, having those both up at level 4.
Mm-hmm.
TP
But hey,
reaction for the mid
I
lane.
mean, even if he didn't get a kill, the great thing about a Clockwork is you can just sit in the fog. If you are not on the map everyone on the enemy team has to think, am I about to get
He's
fucked
nearby.
right now?
Yep.
Yeah. Like you're fucking, like you just start itching.
And you know what? From what I understand, that's how women feel on a daily basis, like during the night.
Jesus.
I mean, I know we try not to talk about rape too much, but
Because rape culture and all that.
yeah, during some
Dyer's
training that I
bottom
had,
tower is under
the
attack.
question was put to us, like, guys, what do you do to prevent yourself from being raped? And everybody's like, nothing.
Yeah,
And the
just
women
be a
are like, and they just had a list of shit
I'm
that they
sorry,
did.
be a guy not in prison, I guess? So I guess... Yeah, I don't know. We're getting in some funky territory here. Maybe you should finish this up before I start saying some more
I
shit.
did. All right, let's move on. Ruby
Okay.
Rod is walking in a direction behind Disband with me. Looks like they're trying to make something happen in the top lane. In the middle lane,
Yeah,
everybody's
middle lane's got
congregating.
They should at least be able to get the deny in this middle tower, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what they were going for.
Dyer's middle tower
Popping the
has fallen.
glyph of fortification.
Ooh, Captain Egger, middle lane. He get the Stormhammer on Shikoshu. Or Shokushu, Jesus. But Chiron has a nice little just
Completely-
defensive swap just to make sure. And Captain Egger's... Captain Edgar. Yeah. Shokushu, of course, immediately with the puppy paws accusation. 1-800 Merlini. Call the Merlini, please.
What?
It's a thing.
Assholes keep Skype calling me.
Alright, well, I'm going to take this time
It's
to...
obviously popular. Drink some more beer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make sure my Dota lunchbox is close at hand at all times. Let's see, looking at the net worth, we've got Shokushu on the Luna, sitting at a little under 6,000. Captain Edgar sitting at 4,800 with Disband on the mag. A little bit behind him, Razor, Leet Speak on the Razors, falling a little bit behind. I mean, as far as the farm you would expect to see on the Razor. But I don't know. Oh, he's going for
Top lane here.
yeah,
Gigi
Gigi Nori.
Influenza.
Oh wow!
That was quick.
Influenza just popped.
Is that the finger of death?
No time fingering him.
Got finger
Oh,
blasted
yeah.
by a lion.
Oh. Yeah, and then Say ends up going down on the Shadow Demon. Womp, fucking womp. Yeah, that happened quick.
That was very quick.
Again, I mean,
Dyer's top
good
tower
reaction
is
time
under attack.
from... Shit, spilled beer on myself.
Bad reaction time from Despair.
Dyer's top tower has fallen.
Alright, so that's the final tier 1 there for the top lane for Prime. And they are not in a good position. Checking out the experience graph right now,
Yeah, I
we're
was
5,000 up,
gonna say.
and then more than,
Probably close to 7,500 in gold.
yeah, 22 to 14, whatever those
What?
numbers equal.
But they got Captain Edgar. They've got the Sven. And as we have seen, the Sven, after you get to a certain point, he can just make shit happen. A
It's a
whiff
missed
hook shot by Influenza. Going on Shokushu, that would have been perfect initiation. Earth Spike comes out on Captain Edgar. Here comes the Eclipse by Shokushu. And
Kaicho goes down and Shadow Demon.
Yeah, Say goes down immediately. Oh, lead speak. See, the zombie's doing so much work. Here comes a Stormhammer, hits 2. Gigi no re and Disband with me. There's a cogs. Battery Salt doing work. Come on, Captain Edgar, you can do it. Yes.
Ooh, and Captain Egger goes down.
Yeah, he does pay with his life. And once again, Soggy Bottom Boys gets the better of that
Yeah,
exchange.
they come out on top. That's only the second kill for Prime.
Yeah,
Radiant's
that's
bottom tower
very
is under
unfortunate.
attack.
Not
And it's
good.
Dyer's
times,
top
both
tower
times on
is
this
under
bad
attack.
on the mag. Which, I mean, that's kind of understandable being in the mid position. He's trying to get in there,
Radiant's
hit
bottom
big
tower is
RPs.
under attack.
I mean, it's kind of like Clockwork. Clockwork, you expect to have a few kills on him at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Just because he does. I mean, he is the kind of character that you just have to fucking throw yourself out there.
Keep your reaction to top lane.
Yeah, top lane
Kaichu and
would
lead speak
say-
going on Chiron.
No, not going to be able to do it. And see, this is, this is a point where if they can get the farm for it, something like a 4-staff would be good. I mean, 4-staff is just good in general, but a 4-staff would say up to get onto Chiron with a disruption, kind of set up that kill.
So I know it's a shit position for Prime right now, but is this a salvageable game? Can they turtle up a little bit and just get big in the late game, and especially with the Sven? And just,
middle lane, disband with me, 2-man RP on Captain Edgar and Influenza. You know, that said, I was going to say, it's going to... Oh, a good hook shot in by Influenza, but it's little hopeful, I want to say.
And Clockwork goes down.
Captain Edgar
Sven
with the jukes.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I was gonna say it's gonna rest on Sven and probably to a lesser extent Razor's contribution to the
Span with me
Bottom tower
is
has fallen.
very hopeful that he's gonna pick up something.
Yeah, he's kind of deep in there. But here come Gigi No Reed and Rudy Rod to bail him out in case one of those wasn't an illusion.
Dire's middle tower is
And yeah,
under
so what you're
attack.
hoping for at this point is for Sven and Razor to get a little bit of farm. And the one good thing about Razor is with the static link, I mean, if you can get in close to Shokushu and get that static link on him, he will not be doing any damage. Farm be fucking damned. And I'm pretty sure if you were to static link and disrupt, I'm pretty sure that just like Astral Imprisonment, the static link will continue to go through it. Now, that may not be true. It may only be the reverse, like if you disrupt or Astral Imprison the Razor, that the static link continues going. But
I know, yeah, there are a lot
draining
of
that damage. The point is draining that damage is really important because really
Disband with me trying to take out the courier.
Influenza up and again. Disband with me, skewer, but here comes Captain Edgar with the Stormhammer.
And it's 3-on-1. Now it's 3-on-3.
Ruby Rod with a clutch Earth Spike.
Each apparition shoots.
Yeah, Eclipse gets popped, and there goes Lead Speak. Disband with me comes back in, hits Influenza with a Shockwave. Kind of spread out here now. And
Yeah, everybody's going everywhere.
Captain Edgar trying to get the fuck out of there now.
Like a bunch of cockroaches, but again, that's
Like a bunch of
Clockwork down, Razor down. Emphasis on the cock?
Emphasis on the cock.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I mean, it is salvageable. It's going to be tough, though.
It's going to
mean,
be
Captain
tough. They're
Edgar-
going to have to stick
and see, the
together
problem is
and just
that-
defend.
Has
Yeah,
fallen.
Soggy Bottom Boys is at this point, and I don't blame them, because why the fuck wouldn't you? They're going to try to force them to start defending their tier 3s.
If it goes too much longer, it could
Mm-hmm.
become a real problem for him. But again, or at the same time, Disband with me is only going to get huger on his Magnus.
Sure.
Yeah, and Gigi no Ri on the Undying, that's a very tanky hero.
It's a very tanky hero,
we were
yeah.
discussing before, especially with the Flesh Golem. You can just roll in there and not give a fuck. And
Here
pop your
comes
Flesh
Ice
Golem.
Fest. RP once again on, who was that, 3 people? Yeah, Captain Edgar say, oh, here comes the hook shot. And the power cogs, battery cell comes out, and the Stormhammer on 3. Shokushu, Disband with me, and Chiron. But still, Say and Influenza both go down, and Ruby Rod, Earth Spike, and they couldn't get the Razor.
Finally, Vengeful Spirit goes down.
The shockwave
That's
ends
another
up
kill.
with me.
Another kill. I'm just talking about how
Really,
tanky.
I mean, oh my god! Oh, I didn't see that Disband had the blink up on the Magnus. Like, that was the best engagement that that Prime has come up with thus far, and really, it does show the potential of this team to come back.
Ooh, able to blink out of that
Yeah.
ancient apparition shot at the last second. That was.
I mean, it's only level 6, but that still had the potential to kill both of them.
yeah,
Captain
that
Edgar,
was.
he wants some, he wants some shit, but he is not going to find it.
So Soggy Bottom Boys are running back to the tower, licking their wounds, kind of regrouping a little bit. Disband with me, already back up, and
Probably back to farming. He's going to try to get that.
wasn't he almost dead just like 4 seconds ago? What happened here?
He TP'd out to the fountain. Yeah, and Captain Edgar, he is a little under 1,000 away from his BKB at this point. I'm really surprised. Oh, no, that makes sense. No,
Man with me in the middle lane, along with Ruby Rod, going after Setakaichu.
oh, wow. Another missed hook shot. And here's the turnaround. Is he going to be able to get away?
Disband with me. Just
there goes
a
Disband
bad
with me.
spot. Like,
Yeah.
what, he was
It's a
just
killing spree. It's a little bit more than your average amount of gold.
just a little too overconfident, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
After so many engagements where nothing has happened to you, kind of get in your head that you're invincible.
Yeah.
A la that dude
I
from
mean,
GoldenEye.
That was kind of
Radiant's top tower is
I don't know.
under
It was
attack.
weird considering how together they've been to see Disband just kind of up there randomly chasing down 3 of their team past the tier 2.
Yeah,
Or
not
the
not
tier
that that
2.
tower is gonna do all that much to him, but that's just bonus damage
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Prime. They're not gonna say no, please don't go past my tower and take off 15% of your life.
Of course, he did RP up, so maybe he was hoping for a really fortuitous blink into RP and then skewer back. I mean, his team was kind of down here.
Well, Ruby Rod was there. I don't know that he had much else in the way of support for that kind of push. I think it was just overconfidence, really. Gonna get a Roche here.
They may be.
Influenza just checking.
Yeah.
Lead speak. It's
Yeah.
skewered by Disband with me, but what's new? And
Oh, lead speak. Speaking of people being out of position, what were you doing there, buddy? Did he get skewered back? Is that what happened?
oh yeah, he got skewered.
Yeah.
Disband with me,
Yeah.
pushing back from
That's
the very middle
unfortunate.
there. Well, he had 3 dudes around him. It was a
Yeah.
gang party.
It was a gang conflagration. It was a gang situation.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing where you're walking home from 7-Eleven after buying some cigarettes, and there's just a group of dudes hanging out on the corner. You need to cross
Like,
the
hey,
fucking
you wanna
road,
party?
son. No, they're not asking if you can party.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
They're
they're
pulling
not.
out knives instantly. It's like 50 style.
And penises.
With less dancing.
Knives and combs.
Dire's
And,
middle
and
tower
combs
is under
that are
attack.
shaped like knives.
And we're going to look for another initiation by Influenza here. But I think the jig is up. I think they know that they're there. Oh, hook shot onto Shakushu. No one to follow it up, though. Oh, the Eclipse comes out, and he's going to melt. Still a lot of damage done to Shakushu. Meanwhile, it looks like Disband
Dire's
ended up
middle
picking up
tower is-
Say.
Dire's
Yeah.
middle tower has
So we
fallen.
have a weird situation here where... no, actually, I completely misread that, so never mind what I was going to say.
Hand lead speak. And this may be the beginning of the end. And that is, yeah, that's League Speak down. Stings when I prime.
And
Yeah.
there's GG from Influenza there.
Yeah, wow.
And that's not terribly surprising.
It isn't, but knowing Spin, knowing how Spin works, knowing how Razor works, especially against that Luna,
It could
back, but
could
that
have
was
been
an unfortunate
possible.
pick. Yeah, it was an unfortunate pick off on
yeah.
both of them there at the end, Captain Edgar and Leak Speak. And okay, at 25 minutes and 41 seconds, the
Yeah, that's gonna do it for them.
it's a fun game. I mean, it looked a little bit one-sided, but like I said, I had hope. I had hope for Prime.
And they just had a mid to late game lineup versus the early to mid game lineup that
I mean,
Soggy
especially
Bottom Boys.
with the Magnus and the Undying and the Vengeful Spirit and the Lion, and they can all do a lot really early. And honestly, it didn't seem like the Clockwork was having as big of an effect as he could have had.
He just got melted every single time, every single engagement. If you
Yeah,
look at
I
his
mean,
KDA, 0 kills, 6 deaths. He
Yeah,
wasn't doing all
by the time he started moving around, that was the case. He just started getting melted. That and the ganks he did have, there were some good reaction times by Disband with me. There were at least 2 skewers out of Cogs.
Hogs.
So anyway, yeah.
So
Let's see what the second game has for us, I guess.
great game. Congratulations to Soggy Bottom Boys for winning that first in this 2-game series. Stand by, and we will be back shortly with Game 2.